Watching News at Prime, let's bring you this now. Police have confirmed that a case of conspiracy to commit murder has been opened in connection with the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Police say they've picked up solid intelligence about a group of people who attended court with the aim of eliminating the judge, prosecutor and investigating team. A number of people who were present at the proceedings this morning have been taken in for questioning and profiling. Security measures have also been strengthened with intelligence units on high alert. No arrests have been made at this stage as investigations do continue and more suspects are being traced. All right, let's speak now to my colleague, Linda Mnisi, who is following the proceedings for us. Linda, good evening to you. I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show whether security will need to be stepped up. So evidently, as per that introduction, security has been stepped up. But what do we know? Where or when did police learn of this alleged plot?
Well, it's unclear at this point, and, proceedings started as per normal this morning, and we know that today the state was meant to start with arguments in relation to the statement of the current witness. This is Fiso Gwabinizungu. And as they were going through just the introductory phase of their arguments, this particular witness then asked to say something to the court. I want us to take a listen to it.
Witness has just drawn my attention. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Prosecutor.
There are people whom were in my company, my lord, and that were seated here. And then they've been now taken by the police, so I'm not sure as to what is happening.
No.
Just now, my lord.
No,
They took them and went right around with them.
So will they intervene? Are they arrested or are they taken? Which is which? That's why
I'm asking this court as to what is happening, my lord.
I don't know.
Is it to the court, yeah. May I request an indulgence just to find out as to what is happening?
Yes.
All right, Linda, just for clarity, so the witness on the stand is saying these people were in his company as he came to court. Now they're being taken away by police. He is trying to get clarity on what is going on. So these are people known to the witness. Do we know whether this witness said anything further beyond what happened, on what you've just played for us?
Primarily, this is the concern that the witness raised, to say, I don't know what's happening, but as I'm standing here, I'm seeing the people that I came with being taken away from the police. And hence you hear him say, it's the clarity I'm looking for from the court. And the court says, well, we also don't know, because proceedings started as per usual, as per normal, and nobody really, knew what was happening. And the defense lawyers, you would have heard them saying they are going to go and find out, right? So court didn't really adjourn, but we stood down for a moment while they went out to go and find out what was happening. But they then come back, Oli, and it's almost as if they were unable at that particular point to get into the details of what exactly was happening after going really to find out what was happening. Take a listen to Advocate Charles Mnisi and Ngumalo.
There are some developments, my lord, around the case which are not worth mentioning on the record. We would have actually also approached the court with a request that we adjourn. So we try and deal with those new developments with our clients and then we take it from there.
What developments are those?
As I'm saying, my lord, they are not worth mentioning on record.
But they are worth this court adjourning?
Most certainly, my lord.
And they are not worth it? But they are still worth it so that the court must adjourn?
It's indulgence that we're requesting.
Hello?
It is an indulgence that we are requesting because we need
Yeah, but
to...
I must know what's happening because I don't know what's happening.
As I'm saying, my lord, there is something...
What is something?
It's a new development.
Have they arrested somebody? The police?
My lord,
Have they arrested somebody?
I would prefer, my lord, not to say anything on record with regard to this new development.
No, you must say it on record. Because here am I, I'm sitting here. I don't know what's happening. And you want to adjourn.
In any event, my lord, it's already tea time.
Yeah,
It's time for a short
I can
adjournment.
sit through tea time. What's the problem? Mr. Ngumal, what's happening?
Unfortunately, my hands are tied, my lord.
What's happening?
As my colleague is indicating, my lord, that there are new developments.
What developments?
Which we wouldn't want
Hello?
to place them on record for now. We have to take instructions.
This court can adjourn without knowing why I'm adjourning.
So, Linda, if I'm watching this as a viewer, my curiosity is who is the witness and what was the nature of the testimony that they were going to deliver at that court, or they have been delivering to that court, because clearly they've been to court with him on a number of occasions.
Yeah, and before I answer that question, Xoli, what then followed after this was, an opportunity for them to consult with their clients because they hadn't consulted based on the information that they had gathered, which they were not able to put on record. And then subsequently, when we came back, it seems there were discussions that were held in chambers because the state then put on record that due to the discussions that were held in chambers, we would then ask for an adjournment, and that's when the matter adjourned. And then only after were the police able to give us information in relation to what was happening, pointing, of course, to the threat, that they've identified relating to the judge, the prosecutors, as well as the investigating team. But to answer your question, this is a witness that the state did not call. He was one of the state witnesses who the state says deposed what is called a Section 204 statement. So a Section 204 statement essentially means that this witness would have given information, some of which implicates him, right? So essentially, they did not bring him to testify. And I want us to go back to the testimony of the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Geninda, in relation to the events that happened at the hostel where the state believes the murder of Senzo Meyiwa was planned. Brigadier Bongani Geninda says one of the statements that he obtained was of this witness who raised the issue of the accused being at the hostel on that day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, but also raised the name of Constable Sizwe Zungu as having been there. Remember, Constable Sizwe Zungu had initially come up in 2019 when he had gone to the National Police Commissioner's office telling Geninda that his father had information about the possible suspects in this particular matter. So Constable Sizwe Zungu's statement was only obtained in 2023. And this is when he now comes to court and detail what was happening at the hostel. He then said, I was at the hostel. I had been invited by this witness to come. This witness is my nephew. He invited me to come where I saw the accused. Some of them I could not remember because I was staying in a different place, right? And I was reminded of these people. At a later stage, the accused disappeared and then came back looking shocked. Right? He said they came back looking shocked. They went into this particular witness's bedroom where they were handing over firearms. A 9mm as well as a revolver was being handed over to this particular witness. But the state did not call this witness because they called Constable Sizwe Zungu. At the end of the state's case, they then made the witnesses that they did not call available to the defense. So the defense now picking up on this witness to come and give testimony around the circumstances that led to that statement that, according to Geninda, reveals the name of the accused persons as having been at the hostel, but also reveals the name of Constable Sizwe Zungu. But he comes to court and he says, well, I was assaulted in the lead up to a statement being obtained. And ultimately, when I got to Primrose Police Station, they showed me a stack of documents and they said, accused number one has already mentioned you or has already mentioned your name. And he says, because he was so tired of being assaulted, he had been assaulted at the municipal offices, he had been assaulted at a Fosteloras cemetery. He was so tired, he wanted to get over and done with it. But he says they, read him his rights. They gave him a document which he didn't read. But also he then said to them, whatever accused number one said about me, put it on a statement. And he said, that's what happened. And then he just affixed an S as a signature on that statement. So in a way, distancing himself from the contents of the statement. So the state today wanted to argue so that they can use that particular statement to cross-examine him, because when they attempted to do that last week, there was an objection from the defense saying the state needed to prove the statement. So this is where we are now. The state was trying to argue why it wants to use the statement, because it says he is the deponent of the statement and he is the person that would know the details that are in the statement and not the investigating officer or anybody else.
Understood. Very, very well explained. Thank you very much, Linda Mnisi, following the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial for us. Very, very clearly detailed there.